Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today's game is going to be between Sting and Grubby. This is a Terran versus Protoss matchup. We are here on the map Entombed Valley. And let us start off with some player information beginning down over here in the lower left-hand spawn position with our red player Sting. Sting, who is also known as Hoon, is a Terran player from South Korea. He is currently playing for the team Western Wolves, and most recently he took first place at the IEM Season 7 Singapore event, which was on November 25th of this year. His opponent over here in the upper right-hand spawn position is our blue player Grubby. Grubby is a Protoss player from the Netherlands and was also a former Warcraft 3 world champion, and I just repeated that information even though we recently looked at a game from Grubby, just in case you guys may have happened to forget, and my camera's trying to chase this probe here as it makes its way out for some scouting information. Grubby most recently took second place at the IEM Season 7 Singapore event, which again was on November the 25th of this year. Now this is actually going to be a series here between these two players from that very event, so we'll be excited to take a look at what this game entails. This is one particular game in a series between these two, and I was told it was a fantastic match. It was actually a replay recommended to me, so let's take a look and see what does transpire. We actually have a barracks built in the corner over there. As opposed to sort of a standard position, maybe right out front, closer to that ramp for a wall off, or sitting in front of the command center, sort of building it off into the left. Very interesting placement there for Sting. He is dealing with a little bit of harass here. However, since his barracks is building so close to his mineral line, he is able to just pull with an SCV very quickly to deal with that. Everything looking, I don't know, so far pretty standard here. We do have the refinery out. It is going ahead and grabbing that Vespene. It looks like pretty standard timing with about a 10 depot, 12 racks, and 13 refinery. First Marine in production now. SCV Scout now moving up for Sting, and Grubby decides to push back in just to check that barracks, see if there's any fancy attachments going down, or if another refinery is coming up. We actually have another barracks building down in the lower right-hand position, and this is something that Grubby has not spotted. Perfectly timed there with that first Marine coming out, forcing the probe to leave his base. Really like that timing, and of course the placement there of the barracks so that Grubby cannot see it. You also have a supply depot getting placed right out front here for Sting. And again, we do have that patrolling Marine chilling out over here. The probe is going to be heading back home. The scout, SCV Scout for Sting, first checking upper left, now moving to upper right, at which point he will be scouting out Grubby. Now we're going to be having some early aggression here from Sting. You can see we've got that reactor just about finished on that first barracks, and the presence of that second barracks means there will be some pressure here from Sting early on. Really excited to see what he decides to do. I don't think I have yet commentated a game by Sting, but I'm looking forward to seeing his gameplay and his play style and exactly how he decides to go about this matchup. We will be seeing that tech lab attachment there to the barracks, allowing him to produce Marauders, and of course the double Marines out of that barracks. Back over here for Grubby. Let's see what he's got going on. Decides to open up first with his, of course, Gateway Cybernetics Core, and that moves into a robotics facility before deciding to take an expansion. Now he is going to be pushing out with this Zealot and Stalker, and with this I expect him to move up to the front of Sting's ramp and try to poke up and see exactly what's going on. We do have these Marines, and I like this semi-wall off that he's got going on, making it difficult for any pushing up units to actually go through, kind of having to funnel around in this set direction. Stalker decides to move forward first before the Zealot catches up, and here we go. Going to see Grubby now push in. Let's see what he is able to see. Now he's going to be seeing this pretty hefty amount of Marines, so at least he knows, well, there's obviously not an expansion coming yet. We do have Sting finishing off that wall there, and the Marines are enough of a threat to force back the Zealot and Stalker. But now at this point, at least Grubby knows, alright, well, there wasn't a 1-racks expand. I don't think he would have had that many Marines this early in the game if that were the case, and he's really eager to see what's going on. Although he's coming out with an Immortal first, I'm assuming he's just going to predict pressure right now, and there it is. Here comes the pressure, moving out with the Marines and the Marauders, taking out that Stalker and chasing it down the Zealot now. The Zealot might be able to make it back home if he just books it back straight towards Grubby's base, but Grubby now realizes, here comes the aggression, now I gotta do something to deal with it. One immortal in play, another immortal coming through. Warp gates, and now just changing those gateways to the warp gates as the warp gate research has finished. Now these immortals will be used to target fire down those marauders. That is what they are most effective against, of course. And we get a few SCVs also moving with this push. So both players still on one base. Here comes the early aggression from Sting, and let's see what he is able to do. Grubby should be able to hold out fairly well with these sentries. He can continuously force field the ramp, but what we could see Sting do is with all this pressure, he could just then expand behind it while he continues to contain Grubby, delaying any potential expansions from him. Now able to move up a little bit into the main. He's got some units on the low ground there, and with vision of the high ground, he's able to start picking off these sentries. Nicely placed force fields, though. These immortals doing a fantastic job. That one with 4 kills, that one with 2 kills now. And what a great defense there by Grubby. So far, able to hold off a significant portion of that push. And now following up with an observer, he's going to move that out to scout what Sting is doing for a follow-up, if he's going to stay on one base and plan to continue to be aggressive, or if he is in fact deciding to expand. It looks like it will be the latter there, with the Sting down over here with an SCV. That should be pulling back any moment to place that expansion down. Or no, never mind, that's just going to be built up here in the main. So command center being built up in the main for Sting, and at the same time Grubby coming out with his expansion. Really great defense there by Grubby. I want to take a quick look here at the resources lost. You can see right now Sting is a little bit behind, so further evidence that that was an excellent defense by Grubby. He did quite well. Is he going to spot the observer? No, he did not. If he spotted the observer and had the potential to scan, he actually didn't have the energy there, but had he had the energy to scan and take out that observer, that would have been pretty huge, because it would have delayed scouting of this expansion now building here for Sting. Following up also with a factory and another barracks and a second refinery here in the main. Sting says, you know what, even though my expansion's not set up, I'm not just going to sit here idly. Let's move out and see what we can do now. He does have stim pack research coming through. Won't be here for the start of this engagement, but he's planning to push and potentially threaten that expansion. We do have some pretty decent defense there. Nice force fields by Grubby, cutting off a few of Sting's units, weakening up that army and really forcing Sting with no other decision to push back. Even just losing a couple Marauders and a few Marines is significant enough, since he couldn't retaliate at all. Half of his army was on the other side of those force fields, to just force him back. I mean, now he really doesn't have a chance to continue that push. He's going to peel off with one Marine to grab the tower. With that, he will be seeing this incoming counterattack from Grubby, or at the very... Now, it looks like it will be a counterattack. I was going to say maybe he's just trying to secure the middle, but he's got a pylon right here, plus the support pylon back here, and he is planning to move out and be aggressive right now. And as I mentioned before, Sting potentially keeping Grubby on one base. This is actually exactly what we're going to see Grubby do to Sting in this upcoming engagement here. He's going to force him to stay on this one base and delay that expansion. For now, we'll see continued SCV production to saturate that main, and then when he's eventually able to move out of this. This really hurts, though, with the force fields keeping the army back, able to take out 3 supply depots, supply cap him, and Sting's in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to lift off that factory to get some scouting done over here. Grubby's going to do a phenomenal job, though, of delaying this expansion right now. And at the moment, Sting really has no response now. He does have double medevacs coming out of the starport. That's going to help him a lot, especially since he's got stim pack. He'll be able to sting and survive much longer with the healing power of those medevacs, just buying himself some time right now. You can see a bunch of SCVs pulling off the line. Still got some mining going on over there, and he's actually going to move forward with the command center to provide some distracting fire in this upcoming engagement here. He realizes this will get hit in its position, but it hopefully will distract some of those ranged units and free up these Marines and Marauders to do a lot more damage. And is he getting ready to try to push out? He's realizing the more time that goes on, the worse off economically he will be with an expansion over here from Grubby. So here comes the push first with the force fields. And as Grubby realizing that he's going to have a hard time here. Uh-oh, here we go now with the medevacs, able to place some units on the low ground. Gonna bypass this army. Grubby chasing him down. Does place down the force fields, though, to prevent any reinforcements from pushing from the main. And where is that going? Is he just going to go for a drop? It looks like he may very well be doing that. Yeah, he's going to move out for a drop counterattack, so Grubby's going to be forced to decide, do I push back with some of my units because he won't have enough at home to defend? Even if he got 2 warp ins, these 2 things filled with Marauders could probably beast through it. I mean, he's only got 4 warp gates over here, so I would be really concerned if I were Grubby. So he's going to be peeling back here with a few of his units. He's also making a transition into Colossus right now, dropping those Marauders. All of this allowing him to finally move out, placing the orbital command down here at the natural expansion, gets to mining, and now he's going to try to make up for that economic disadvantage he had with Grubby having this expansion up much earlier than him, pushing forward with these Marauders, trying to do some damage. Gonna kill off a few of these Zealots, lifting up with the one. Looks like he lost his other medevac, or did he not? Where? Oh, cause we got one back over here. Okay, well, I don't know. Either way, we got a counterattack moving out right now. He's got that medevac able to pick up 4 of those guys. I think he dropped with the 2 medevacs, dropped all 8 Marauders, and then just moved with 1. And cutting off Grubby's units here in the corner of the map. Nice small little victory here for Sting. That really hurt. He lost a few Immortals there, which are quite expensive units, and looks like Sting's going to push out with a counterattack. He's got his expansion going, although he's got a lot of SCVs moving in with this counterattack. He's going to move down with a few guys over here. Zealot doing some damage. That will get taken care of quickly. And here comes another counterattack to the counterattack of Grubby. Sting now moving into the natural. Couple of force fields cutting his army in half, and with that Colossus going to start shredding through that bio. Got a small little space here to sneak through. Colossus still hasn't been even touched yet. He's got full health and full shields. Bio continuing to push forward again with Stimpak and the healing power of those medevacs, really increasing their lifespan. Colossus takes a lot of damage very quickly, but has enough to hold the line and force Sting back, at least temporarily. He does have some reinforcements coming through, though. So here come the reinforcements. More Marines and Marauders, and still not enough. Grubby able to hold and force him back. We've got reinforcements. I don't think it'll be enough, but regardless, Grubby is pushing back right now. Now, do we have any more drops taking place? No, not at the moment. One scouting Marine moving forward. He is also in transit, able to scout out that pylon, so he should move down to take that out. We also have this pylon over here, so I wonder if he's going to try to check for that too. Takes out this pylon, takes out the probe as well to stop any further pylons from getting placed down. And is he going to... Yeah, there we go. Scouts out this one, so he is all set. Not going to have to deal with any crazy warp and shenanigans. Another expansion again taken by Grubby over here at the 3rd position. I'll take a quick look at the income right now. Grubby does have that slight advantage, I think, especially once he gets that up and running. Going to further add to that. And we don't have another command center building, I don't believe, in the production tab. No, I don't see it. So just still sitting on these 2 bases. Sting deciding not to move into a 3rd. Usually by now we'll have seen a 3rd building or just starting to build, so that Sting can prepare to move into, so the Terran player can prepare to move into a 3rd, but again, not doing that quite as of yet, continuing to just build more production facilities. We have these 2 racks, more attachments there, plus another starport coming through, so Sting really committing here to this 2-base play, at least for now. 2 medevacs moving out, so we're seeing some more drop action here from Sting, also moving forward with a little bit of his bio, stimming them up to scout out the middle. Surprised to move forward with so much, actually. Just going to lose these guys right here. Stims back, loses all but 1 Marauder. The drop action is still taking place, and I think he's going to avoid this scouting observer. Oh, he's going to actually, he might walk right by that scouting observer. It's going to be really close. He's going to completely bypass that scouting observer, so Grubby does not know this is coming. Here it comes, here it comes. Drop now in the natural, also out of the vision. How does he know what Grubby cannot see? I don't know, but this is going to do some damage here. He's got to pick a target, though, chasing down some workers. The more time that goes on, the more time Grubby has to bring back reinforcements. Colossus moved down. He's going to lift up the rest of his units. Just lost a Marine in all of that engagement. I just want to keep an eye on this pylon. Again, we might see some shenanigans from that. I also have a Zealot. This was just scouting out the 3rd. But again, no 3rd here. Nothing in the works either for Sting. Still just deciding to stick to these 2 bases and push, push, push. Drop commences here, doing some more damage. And he's going to push back. The great thing that this is doing, though, is it's keeping all of Grubby's forces back here to defend. The threat of this drop, at this point, Grubby's like, I need to keep my army back. And this gives Sting plenty of time to just sit back, lots of breathing room back at home. He's working up his army. You can see transitioning as well into Vikings to counteract those Colossus. I do wonder, is Grubby preparing? No, he's not. No transition in the works to High Templar. Sometimes at this point you'll see a change to High Templar to deal with the inevitable Vikings that will come into play. Grubby deciding not to do that there. Finally, here it is, the Templar Archives coming out. So again, as I just mentioned, switching to High Templar to use Psionic Storm to just deal with the fact that the Terran players are likely to get Vikings to counter your Colossus. Drops continue here, tearing apart a few of these Stalkers before they're forced to lift up, and still, again, look at this, forcing Grubby's army back. to deal with it. How annoying is that, consistent drops? And he's not even dropping from multiple positions. I mean, this third has been fairly untouched, even though Sting knows about it. Now Sting deciding to push out, though, with this heavy Viking count. We have no High Templar in play at the moment. 11 Vikings to counter these 5 Colossus, and more and more Marine and Marauder production. Still no plan to transition from these 2 bases into a third. He's just working with what he got, and he's going to do some damage right now. This is a pretty sizable force. It's really going to come down to this engagement here. Pretty big fight taking place. Vikings, again, gunning straight for those Colossus. Couple of force fields. There's still a lot of bio left, though, as the Vikings continue to tear through those Colossus. Bio pulls back to stay away from them. And now he's just going to deal with these Zealots and a few Stalkers. Got an Archon there. Should we get seen any reinforcements? Yeah, there's a few reinforcements moving across. Just going to continue to micro away without the threat of those Colossus anymore. The Bio has a decent advantage now with the reinforcements. Takes out the Archon and will force back these Stalkers now. Got a few Zealots that were just warped in as well. Blink research is coming through. That helps him to get underneath and take out those medevacs, especially if we see Sting attempt to retreat. Now pushing into the third here, threatening to take this out. Grubby, without any High Templar or Colossus, could be in a lot of trouble right now, forced to come down with his workers. Also moving forward with that scouting factory. This will, same as I talked about that command center before, tries to get in the way of this ranged fire. If you see any units attack this, then it works, basically. Although at the moment, everything seems to be pretty much focusing it down the Bio, but the reinforcements continue to stream in, hitting from the side now, stopping these Stalkers from pushing back. Colossus comes through, a few Zealots to deal with these remaining Marines and Marauders, and just look at the mini-map, the continuous stream of red units across the center as Sting decides, I'm keeping up this aggression, I've got no follow-up planned here, I've got no third in the works, I've got to do more damage. If we take a look at the resources lost, you can see Grubby is falling behind right now. And just non-stop reinforcements stimming up and medevacs, and the Colossus taking some target fire. There are the Blink Stalkers coming into play to snipe down the medevacs, and Grubby able to hold Sting once again without a follow-up plan here, without a third in the works. This was it. This was the whole enchilada. He pushed with everything he had, wasn't able to fully break Grubby. Great defense, and what a game. Alright my friends, thank you so much for watching this match here between Grubby and Sting. A very exciting non-stop action back and forth game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more StarCraft 2 and gaming coverage here on the channel. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.